This is a really good interview with Buddy Mcgirt. Short interview, but a good interview. He's talking about the mental approach that Deontay Wilder needs to take for this Tyson Fury trilogy fight. He is a little concerned that Deontay is too set on revenge and too set on destroying Tyson Fury, whereas the mentality he should be coming into the fight with is a relaxed, calm mentality. Being all wound up and uptight is going to work against him. And I agree on that. Yeah, he needs to be calm, needs to be relaxed, forget about all this revenge stuff. In some ways, from an emotional perspective, from a psychological perspective, you have to pretend as though this is a blank slate. He's just another fighter. Forget about the fact that he beat the living daylights out of you. Just come into it calm and look to implement the improvements that you've been making, the things you've been working on in training camp. Yeah, don't look at it as, I got to get this guy, I got to prove everyone wrong. Relax. Because if there's any fighter out there who's going to take advantage of that type of mentality, it's Tyson Fury. Oh, he would love to get you wound up so you come at him all hyper aggressive and what have you, and he can start clowning you and frustrating you. He would love that. You must stay calm. And that's what Buddy Mcgirt was saying in this interview. And I've said in the past, I think Deontay Wilder should, and perhaps they're going to do this, some of the things Malik Scott has been saying kind of indicate they might. If you're Deontay Wilder, you might even want to try moving around and getting Fury to come to you. I know Fury's got the longer reach and what have you, but if Deontay Wilder actually dedicates himself to being awkward and moving around and slippery and quickening up those feet on the back foot, that's at least a different look that he could give Tyson Fury. Because in the second fight, Deontay was on the back foot, but not voluntarily. He was trying to come forward. He was trying to get some forward momentum, but he was walking into a brick wall. Tyson Fury's jab was smacking him in the face, and on the inside, Tyson Fury was just way physically stronger than him at 270 plus pounds. So that's a different situation to what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a situation where Deontay decides that he's going to move around the ring. He decides he's going to try and make it difficult for Tyson Fury to pin him down. And I'm not saying it would necessarily work. All I'm saying is, at least it's something different. And at least it's a strategy where it's not reliant on Deontay being all wound up and looking for one punch. But he's being more tactical. And he's actually trying to make Tyson Fury miss. He's actually trying to frustrate Tyson Fury a little bit. Because that's how a lot of Deontay Wilder's knockouts have come anyway. Yeah, when he's tried to frustrate fighters and he's walked them onto the shot, rather than when he's gone out there looking for it. So, yeah, I agree with Buddy Mcgirt. I think it's a good interview, a short interview. I think Deontay Wilder, even if he decides to go looking for the knockout again, he needs to be calm. He can't be consumed with rage and, obsessing about revenge. Even if he wants to go out there and fight assertively, you got to be calm in your head. You got to be calm emotionally. You got to be in a good place. You can't be uptight. Yeah? So let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Buddy Mcgirt's interview here. He's warned Deontay not to be too uptight. Don't be uptight in the run up to the fight, because that's going to manifest itself in the ring. And don't be uptight in the ring. Work on being calm. You see, Deontay is a naturally aggressive person. You see? And the aggression he has is an asset, but it can also be a hindrance. It's a blessing and a curse. Because when you've got a guy who's naturally aggressive like that, when they become too aggressive, when they become too uptight, when they become too angry, that can work against them. A fighter, in this case Tyson Fury, who's very good from the psychological aspect, he can turn the tables on them. He can use that innate aggression they have against them. Yeah. And it's the opposite with extremely laid back, extremely relaxed fighters. Some of them actually need a G-up. They need to be motivated, you know, because sometimes they could be too lackadaisical if they're a very laid back type of personality, because that can work against them. Sometimes they just might not be at the races if they're too laid back. So, as I say, you have to tailor what you're going to do as a trainer, not only to a fighter's physical attributes and their aptitudes, but also to their personality type. Certain fighters are going to need to be calmed down a little bit, and certain fighters are going to need to be hyped up a little bit, depending on who they are and depending on the situation, who they're fighting, the circumstances they find themselves in. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. And actually, before I go, some people are going to say it's a bad idea for Deontay to go moving around the ring, this, that, and the other. Well, perhaps it will be, but it was a bad idea fighting the way he did in the second fight, wasn't it? Because it couldn't have gone any worse for him. So he might as well try something different, at least for a couple rounds, see how it goes. Yeah? At the end of the day, at this point in time, it just looks like Tyson Fury is the superior fighter. And if what you did last time didn't work, well, switch it up and try something different. Doesn't mean that's going to work either. But in my mind, it's a more logical thing to do than to try the exact same tactics and expect a different result. You know? So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below.